All right, here we are. Good morning, PTNS Daily Show. Happy Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us here, live here on Facebook. Finally got that fixed, and Instagram at the same time. Hope your morning's off to a great start. My name is Alan. I'll be your host today, serving as COO of ICE, as well as faculty member in our fitness athlete and modern management of the older adult divisions. Couple announcements real quick. Some courses coming up real quick. We got a whole bunch coming up in a short amount of time. Couple chances to catch Justin for total spine thrust manipulation this weekend in Portland. That's March 7th and 8th. The weekend of the 21st and 22nd down in Santa Barbara, California with our friends at Hayashida. That course is almost full. It's got a few spots left. So if you're in the California area and you're looking to grab that course, your next chance is in 2 weeks. And then the week after that, March 28th, 29th, he'll be out in Nebraska. So a couple chances to catch total spine thrust, a couple chances to catch modern management older adult live. Your next chances this weekend is in this Saturday, Sunday in Crown Point, Indiana. I'll be there. Dustin will be there. Guillermo will be there. And our friend and new TA, Jeff Musgrave, will be there. And then your next chance to catch that course is in 2 weeks, March 21st and 22nd, over in Maryland, out on the East Coast with MedStar. From the fitness athlete side of things, hope you plan to join us in 2 weeks in Fort Collins at CrossFit Endure. Mitch and I will be there. Jeff Moore will be there. So again, I've said this a couple times already. If you're looking to feel great about your movement, about your strength, about your CrossFit capacity, come to that course because you will shine like a diamond next to Jeff. So catch us in 2 weeks in Fort Collins. And then you can catch Justin online for persistent pain management starting next week, March 9th, the next cohort of that. That'll be the last one of that for a while as Justin takes a break after this one to go down to Haiti again. So that's what we've got coming up course-wise. Today's topic, we're talking about marketing. So a couple months ago, if you go back into the archives, Zach Long, aka the Barbell Physio, jumped on here on Thursday. He talked about a couple of different topics over the course of a few weeks. He talked about social media apps and things to use, and he also talked about marketing physical therapy. So those two are going to kind of serve as your primer, so go back and catch those if you haven't yet. And then today, we're talking about the actual nuts and bolts of marketing itself. What does it look like to actually, quote unquote, do marketing? And the first point I want to make is that you absolutely, no matter if you are marketing your side hustle, you're marketing your entire clinic group, you're marketing yourself in a different way, maybe from the clinician side of things to get a job or trying to market your entire clinic, you have to start seeing marketing as an investment, not an expense. Marketing isn't a thing that you do and that you just put money towards because you feel compelled to do it. It needs to be considered an investment. How do we start to consider an investment? How do we start to take it much more seriously? That answer is twofold. The first is to start to be much more intentional with your marketing. A lot of us get busy in the clinic. Maybe you're a full-time clinician and you're running a side hustle and you're trying to market your side hustle, and it's just this thing that you usually forget to do, feel guilty that you're not doing, and jump on and occasionally throw up a post on Instagram or Facebook, maybe a picture of an exercise or of a manual therapy technique, and you've checked the box for that week or even that month on marketing. We have to be much more intentional than that. We have to say, what am I trying to advertise? What am I trying to sell? A lot of folks get hung up here. They start to talk about selling a payment method. A lot of folks put out marketing and say, I am one-on-one for an hour. I am not insurance-based. I am a cash-based PT. And what you're marketing there is a payment method, not why you are better than the person down the street. You're not marketing very intentionally. Your marketing should be directed towards how are you different, why are you different, not your payment method. So now with the rise of out-of-network and cash-based practice, we saw a lot of marketing where people talk about one-on-one care for an hour with a PT, and that still happens in insurance-based, and that's not what sets you apart. You need to be much more intentional for your marketing. And I challenge you to start to think of marketing campaigns as a multi-step process that's posted on social media, that it may involve live things, workshops in person, and you're kind of stringing it all together. And I want to give you a really good example. I think somebody that does this exceptionally well is our very own Dustin Jones. Dustin is really awesome at doing campaign-based marketing on the older adult side of things. If you saw the other day, we launched our resources page on ptnice.com, a ton of free resources, and the majority of those resources are from Dustin's previous marketing campaigns. What do those look like? He just did one that was host your own arthritis workshop. So you're at a gym, or maybe you want to present to the community, you want to present to a physician group, you want to go and present to a bunch of older adults themselves and talk about arthritis, what it is, how we can still move, why it's important to exercise even though we may have been diagnosed with arthritis. And his campaign was threefold. It was give us your email and I'll give you the slides from my workshop, from Dustin's workshop. A day later, and this is all using ConvertKit. So this is automation marketing, campaign-based marketing. So the first step is give us your email. You'll get the slides that Dustin used for the workshop. A day later, you're going to get an email that gives you a checklist to set up the workshop. So thanks for giving us your email. Here are the slides. A day later, you're going to get a checklist. And then a couple days later, you're going to get the video of Dustin actually giving the talk at his gym to the folks from the community and the healthcare providers who came to his talk. So he recorded himself doing a workshop, and you will get the video so you can understand kind of how to better explain those slides and move through that checklist and be able to give that workshop in your own community, in your own gym, to your own clinic group, to the own community of healthcare providers in your area. And so that's a campaign-based marketing. That's very intentional. That is giving multiple what we would call touch points in marketing, following up with you often, keeping that person coming back for more content. In exchange, we got your email, right? We got your email, and we now have your email tagged as somebody who's interested in older adult content. So now when we do put out more content like that, we know that we can be much more targeted in our marketing. We also know that you may be somebody who might be interested in the Modern Management of the Older Adult courses if you haven't taken them yet. So that's a good example of campaign-based marketing. What's a good example from the clinician side, if you're trying to drum up business for your side hustle, would be something like, hey, we're having an overhead mobility workshop at this CrossFit gym. Give us your email and get signed up. A couple days later, I'm going to send you the checklist to have you print to bring to the course to go over the mobility. And maybe a couple days after the course, you have it set up in ConvertKit. Then now a couple days after that, hey, thanks for coming to the workshop. Hope you found it valuable. If you are still having issues with your overhead mobility, if you're having pain with overhead lifting, by the way, here's a link to my clinic. Here's how you can make an appointment with me. Thanks for coming. And so multiple touch points throughout the campaign with some free content up front, right? We would call that give, 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 ask. Here's some free stuff. Here's some free stuff. Here's some free stuff. Here's some free stuff. Buy a thing, right? So this campaign versus putting out a last-minute post that's just white text on a black background that says, have some appointments available, grab them now. Or come buy my cupping or dry needling, right? Those are not as intentional. Those don't grasp people and kind of keep them moving along what we would call a marketing funnel as much as campaign-based marketing. So all that to say is embrace much more intentional marketing and make it campaign-based. Make it follow a person across multiple days, multiple weeks, even multiple months, where you're continually following up with them. A lot of it is automated. It may seem like a lot of work to be sending out these emails days apart, weeks apart, but a lot of it can be automated, where somebody signs up, they get put in this automation string on a tool like ConvertKit, and they receive those emails every couple days, automated. So once you get in the groove, it's actually not that much work, and you find you have a much higher conversion rate with those folks who are put through campaign-based marketing than just the random marketing that we often see on social media of come try this technique, here's an exercise, I'm a physical therapist, I do one-on-one for an hour, that sort of thing that's just kind of random and non-intentional. The second half of starting to see marketing as a long-term investment and not just an expense or thing just to do it is to get really, really, really data-driven with your marketing. What we often see and what we've done here at ICE in the past is just put money behind marketing and not know what it's doing for us. So we've maybe put out a course post, and we just click the boost button and put 50 bucks on it. Boosting a post on Facebook and Instagram is a great way to spend a lot of money and have no idea how many of those people went on to buy a thing from you. How many of those people went on to book an appointment, buy a course, buy a product, whatever you're selling. Boosting posts just makes you jump to the top of people's news feeds more often. So they see the same thing from you more times. Two things: you have no idea if they actually are going on to buy something. The second thing is that usually starts to really make people angry when they're scrolling through their feed and they see your same post a zillion times. Especially now, Facebook and Instagram are much more transparent. You can see that tag on the top that says sponsored post, right? So now people can see that you're dumping a bunch of money to put the same thing in front of their face the whole time, and they start to get numb to it, right? I'm still somebody who kind of intentionally scrolls through Instagram, but if you've never watched like a younger person, 20 to 25, use Instagram, I challenge you to go to the coffee shop this weekend and watch somebody younger use Instagram. They are flying through that thing, right? You have to have something that pops. It has to be new. It has to be fresh. That person is just scrolling like a maniac through their social media. You really have to grab their attention with new content, video content, nice looking graphics. If you just take the same post and boost it, they're just seeing the same thing. That's going to numb their brain out, and eventually your post is just going to be like all the other posts that they just move through. So you have to get much more dialed in with your ads if you're using paid ads on Facebook and Instagram. I would recommend, if this is not your forte, that you farm that out. And I don't mean farm that out by going to Fiverr and paying $5 for a nice picture. I mean really investing in your advertising, looking at not just marketing or ads for the sake of doing them and seeing them as an expense that you have to do, but consulting with a brand management firm. We use Think Marketing here at the gym. With our friend Ryan. We use them on the clinic side here at Health HQ. We also use Ryan and his firm, and we use Ryan and his firm for ICE too, right? It's a brand management firm. They are creating campaigns for us. They're creating campaign-based marketing. They're doing our digital ads, and the most important part of this is they're giving us the data, right? So this is what I care about on my end, is kind of the logistics person, is this data of our ads. How many people are seeing it? Of those people, how many people are buying a course? What are we spending per click to the website? What is the return on investment? And that's what we're really boiling down to at the end of all this. What is the return on investment of marketing? And once you start to have a ton of data like this, then you can start to say, yes, this is working. No, this is not working. But if you aren't working with a firm that's showing you this data, if you are trying to do it yourself and you don't know how to access it, you have no idea how your ads are doing, how your posts are doing, and you're kind of just throwing stuff out there and hoping that it will just magically work and you'll have more patients in your clinic or more sales for your product, but you really have no idea. And what we don't measure, we can't change. So this is really important to have on the back end, to know for us that the money that we're investing is not only working, but it's a bigger return on investment than what we're paying, right? And so when you start to see 200% return on investment, 500% return on investment, 1,000% return on investment, you start to see that marketing is really no different than investing in the stock market or a mutual fund or something like that, right? You start to see, hey, for every dollar I put in, I get $12 back. And then the question doesn't become, what's the minimum amount I need to spend on this stupid marketing stuff? It becomes, what's the limit? How much can I spend? How much can we stretch this return on investment? And how far will this money take us? If I put $1 down and get 12 back, can I put $100 down and get 1,200 back? Can I put 1,000 down and get 12,000 back, and so on and so forth? And you really start to conceptualize that every dollar you put in not only goes to work for you and brings a dollar back, but it starts to bring multiple dollars back. And that's how you leverage marketing and advertising to grow your clinic, grow your brand, sell more products if you're out there selling ebooks or programming or something like that. But it starts with being very intentional with your marketing, sitting down and thinking, what do I want to talk about? Maybe I want to do some social media posts about some corrective exercises for the overhead squat and mobility exercises. Oh, by the way, if you sign up, you will get funneled into my campaign for this overhead squat workshop, and then you'll come to the workshop, and then after the workshop I'm going to follow up with you and maybe convert a few of those people into patients. So be more intentional with campaign-based marketing, and then really start to see it as an investment by using data to drive where you spend your dollars and how your dollars work for you, and at the end of the day to know, yes, this is working. For a long time here at ICE, we were doing boosted posts. We were doing email campaigns and paying to buy email lists, and we really had no idea what was working and what was not, because we never had this, right? We never had this end of the month report that we get emailed that says, here are your campaign numbers, here are your paid ad numbers, here's your return on investment. And then sitting down, we meet with Ryan and his firm once a month, Jeff and I, and we come up with new ideas for new campaigns, new and different ways to do marketing and advertising through ICE. Again, being intentional, not just putting random money behind random posts and hoping it turns into a sale, but being very intentional, and also respecting that you can't just market and advertise your way to the top, right? You have to give away some content. You have to obviously provide a high quality service, but you have to give something up front to get something on the back end, right? You got to spend money to make money, recognizing that you can't just do paid ads all over the place, because that will tune people out to your clinic, to your brand, and burn them out, and even maybe unfortunately get them to click that button that says hide posts from this person, because they're seeing your paid ad every time they open up Instagram, and it's overwhelming. So some thoughts there. I'd be interested to hear what you all are doing, what you all get from this, if this is helpful, talking about this sort of thing. It's kind of nuts and bolts, but I hope that helps. A lot of folks noticed kind of a big explosion in ICE over the past year. ICE marketing has looked better, been more prominent, and folks have asked what changed. It certainly wasn't Jeff, and it certainly wasn't me. It was bringing, like I talked about, a brand management firm on board to really take the reins, knowing that's their forte and not ours, and just trusting them to take us along the road so far. So hope that helps. I hope you have a great Thursday. If you're going to be in Crown Point this weekend, I will see you there. If you're going to be out in Fort Collins next weekend for Fitness Athlete Live, I will see you there as well. If you're going to be out on the slopes the week after next, I'll be up there with Jeff and Mitch. I'll be the guy falling a lot. So if you have any snowboard tips, send them my way. Or if you can help me off the mountain, I would appreciate that as well. Other than that, have a great Thursday. I'll be back on tomorrow to talk about some fitness athlete stuff. Have a great Thursday. Bye, everybody.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.